That means let's go. Jumbo friends, how are you doing today? Awesome. All right, well, my name is Sky, and I'm going to be your guide on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you look above you, there's a handy-dandy animal spotting guide. We don't usually see all of those animals out there, but we do have some pretty good luck. Just a few things. Please remain seated or be on the lookout. This is a great time to look over that animal spotting guide. You might see some of your favorites up there. Also, switch those cameras over to sport or action mode. This is actually the closest known relative to the giraffe. Very similar skeletal structure, same exact prehensile tongue, and they were believed to be mythical creatures until 1901. Very shy, very reclusive, and some people just thought they were too good to be true. We're gonna have a bloat of Nile hippopotamus to our left. Nile hippos spend most of their time in the water. They only need to have their prey. They are cold-blooded mammals, which means they have to regulate their own body temperature. They do that by holding their mouth wide, pushing any hot air out of their body through their mouth. Now let's head on into this ability to hold up to 10,000 gallons of water in that trunk, helping it to survive the drought. As this overlook is going to be one of the best views we have all day, so let's head on into the savannah. Very beautiful from up there. I see some animals all the way far off into the distance. We'll get a lot closer to them. I'm gonna move up a little bit because we're gonna try to get a closer view of these Maasai giraffe. Now the Maasais have a reeded edge around their spots, irregular pattern of spots. The lucky number of 20. So they get up to 20 feet tall, run up to 20 miles per hour, eat 20 hours out of their day. They only need to sleep for 30 minutes. Looks like we have an Angora cattle running back there. Trying to catch up probably with the rest. That looks fair. So some giraffes on our left. And we're gonna have a few babies up here to the right. Those mothers have a 15-month pregnancy to a 6-foot tall baby. They give birth standing up, so it's a 6-foot drop down to the ground for those babies onto their heads. Sounds like a rude awakening to the world.
Wow, can't see that.
Well, we're gonna have to wait for this giraffe to cross. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go check out that elephant. More giraffes up here too. If you haven't had enough of the giraffes, I know I never have. There's more. Now this is an African elephant. I can tell because we're in Africa. Yeah, we're in Africa. You got it. But the shape of their ears resemble the shape of the continent. I can tell because he's traveling alone. Males will travel alone or join other herds of all males, called bachelor herds. And we have a flamboyance of greater flamingos and those Angora cattle. Once again, we had a few of these in the road before as well. Now, flamingos, greater flamingos, are the lightest and tallest. They get their coloring from their diet, from the beta carotene, from the brine shrimp that they eat. It takes about 2 years to turn their feathers pink. They're born of the light gray. I see more elephants back there, so maybe, oh, there's a baby over there. So this is actually a herd of females, so not just the male. These mothers have a 22-month pregnancy to a 300-pound baby. And once again, those giraffes have a 15-month pregnancy to a 6-foot tall baby. Male lion, a little further up here. Now they sleep and relax 18 to 20 hours out of their day. When they wake up, these males are the ones that stay back with the cubs in the territory. The females are the primary hunters for the pride. Very social hunters as well. Because they only have about a 10 to 15% success rate, so they do have to hunt with their pride. Oh, we have a water buck here, a few of them. Now they have white rings around their rear ends and heart-shaped noses. Now they do have a way of protecting themselves from the lions. They have a grease that coats their fur. It's believed to make them waterproof, but we also believe that it's stinky enough to ward off predators like these lions. So they smell very, very bad. You don't usually want to eat them. So 2 female lioness up there. Also switch those cameras over to sport or action mode. This is a good time to do so as well, to get those pictures. Now, these animals, they don't always stop for us, and they look like zebras. They're actually the closest known relative to the giraffe. Very similar skeletal structure, same exact prehensile tongue, and they were believed to be mythical creatures until 1901. Very shy, very reclusive, and some people just thought they were too good to be true. They are true. I think they're pretty great. Up ahead we are going to have a watering hole, which is a great place for animals to gather together, get a drink of water. So we might find some animals over there. We still have the giraffe of the forest on our right. So here we are at that watering hole, and I think I see a black rhinoceros against the wall up ahead. So you'll see that once we move up here, it's all the way against the wall. Now black rhinos are one of the smaller types of rhinos. They only get about 3,000 pounds. They have a pointed upper prehensile lip. That's gonna help them to grasp leaves off of trees and bushes. They can charge up to 35 miles per hour. Probably why a group of rhinos are called a crash. You don't usually find them in the crashes during the day though. They are a very solitary type of rhino. Unfortunately, they're less than 5,000 due to poaching. Poached for their horns, made out of keratin. It's the same exact thing as our hair and our fingernails. Up ahead here, I see some antelope. I see some greater kudu, which are a tan-colored antelope. Second tallest of all the antelope. So see those on the left? These are females. They don't have horns on their heads, but males have corkscrew-shaped horns. Now we are going to head towards the Saki River. It's at the edge of this board, and a great place to find some aquatic animals. They like to hang out deep in the water towards the bottom to stay cool, so that's the best place to look for those animals. So here we are. I'm not seeing anything in the water here, but we'll move up to that other side, so just keep an eye out down below. Typically have better look up at the other side anyways. We're gonna have a bloat of Nile hippopotamus to our left. Nile hippos spend most of their time in the water. They only need to come up to breathe every 5 to 8 minutes. If they are sleeping, they'll naturally rise up. They don't even need to wake up. They get about 5,500 pounds on average, so they do not know how to swim. Far too heavy. Instead, they sink to the very bottom and tiptoe along the bottom. They are one of Africa's most dangerous. Do not eat meat. Vegetarians. Very territorial. Can outrun us on land at 35 miles per hour. We have a baby there, right next to the islands. On the island, we have some pink-backed pelicans. During mating season, the skin on their backs turns pink to attract a mate. And you may find these animals all along this bend as well. Those babies are born at about 80 pounds. Now down below here, we're gonna have some Nile crocodiles. So remember to remain fully seated over this bridge. I haven't lost anyone to the croc beat yet today, and I'd like to keep it that way. Now they get about as long as a giraffe gets tall, 16 to 20 feet. They have a bite force of 2,000 pounds per square inch, crushing the bones of their prey. They are cold-blooded mammals, which means they have to regulate their own body temperature. They do that by holding their mouths wide open, pushing any hot air out of their bodies through their mouths. Now let's head on into the savannah. That's where we are going to spend most of our time. It's very vast, and the animals that live there are part of a completely different ecosystem than what we've seen so far. Now here on the right, we are going to have an ancient baobab tree, also known as the upside down tree for its root-like branches. Looks like it's been planted upside down. It also gets a nickname, the tree of life. It has the ability to hold up to 10,000 gallons of water in that trunk, helping it to survive the drought. As this overlook is going to be one of the best views we have all day, so let's head on into the savannah. It's very beautiful from up here. I see some animals all the way far off into the distance. We'll get a lot closer to them. Now we have some bushes up here on our left, and there's a den on the other side.
They're ready.
Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Great. Welcome to the Avatar program. Soon, you're going to have a chance to undertake an amazing Navi rite of passage, flying on the back of this powerful animal called an Ikron, or as we call it, a Banshee. The way you're going to do this is by being matched to something called an avatar. And I'm here to help you guys get ready. But first, we have to scan you for Pandoran microparasites. Alright everyone, stay on your number and move your arms a bit. Okay, start scan. You've all got them. But don't worry, they're very common around these parts. Let's start the decon.
Initiating GMR decon.
Stay still over your number, you're not gonna feel a thing. You're doing great. Almost done here.
They're all clear.
Great. Now let's go over how all this works. Like I said before, you're going to be matched to these things called avatars, which look a lot like the Navi. They're created by blending human DNA and Navi DNA. Once we match you to an avatar, thanks to a special link chair, your mind will be able to control that avatar. Using avatars to fly this way was all figured out by my boss, Dr. Jackie Ogden. She leads our science team, which is part of the Pandora Conservation Initiative, and we're here in the Valley of Moara studying banshees and their environment. Over a generation ago, this enormous company called the RDA created a lot of damage to the area through their bad mining practices and conflicts with the Navi. Just like on Earth, it can take decades for ecosystems to recover. One way to understand what's going on with an ecosystem is to study what are called keystone species. These are animals like tigers, jaguars, seals. The banshee is one of these important animals. Dr. Ogden is the foremost expert on studying the Ikron and has spent years researching them. Unfortunately, banshees live high in rookeries and humans can't get anywhere near them without becoming their lunch. But the Navi and avatars can. In fact, the Navi have been riding on the backs of banshees since their earliest history. Thanks to science, avatars can ride on banshees too. That's why you're linking to an avatar. It was Dr. Ogden who restarted the Avatar program. It's because of her that you're able to go through this rite of passage today. Pandora is a breathtaking natural world. I cannot wait for you guys to see it for yourselves. Okay, to get you flying on a Banshee, we need to find each of you an avatar. Let's prep the genetic sampling.
I'm on it.
Okay, first we need to find the compatible match of your genetic material with the genetic material of one of the avatar bodies that we already have. Once we do that, you'll be able to link to that avatar and fly. Help us out and move around a bit. Almost. Yes, got him. Now, let's find you your avatar matches. right. You've all been matched with avatars. Looks like they're ready for you in the next room. When the door opens, please go inside, all the way in, and stand over the same number that you're standing over now. And I'll see you in there. Before we send you to the link chamber, let's watch this piece by Dr. Ogden, who runs the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Jackie Ogden from the Pandora Conservation Initiative. You're about to experience a ceremony that's very special to the Na'vi, flying on the back of an ikran, or as we call it, a banshee. To the Na'vi, connecting to an ikran and flying on its back is an incredibly important rite of passage they call Ikni Maya. With permission from the Na'vi and in partnership with Alpha Centauri Expeditions, we can now bring this amazing experience to you. The way you'll be able to fly is by linking to an avatar that's already on the back of an ikran. Let's see how this works.
We establish a link using powerful psionic amplification equipment. A human driver is connected to an avatar, which could be physically hundreds of kilometers away. When you follow our technician into the link chamber, you'll see a series of 16 link chairs. Please go to the number that matches the number you're standing on now. First, stow your gear in the storage containers on the back wall. This should include all bags, cameras, and other items, including cell phones. It's important to push them all the way into the bin. Then get onto the chair as you would a bike. Straddle the seat, step forward, and sit down. Slide your hips forward until you are against the chest pad, and then move your feet all the way forward. Wait until you're seated before you put on your flight visors. Hold onto the hand grips as shown. It's important to hold onto the hand grips at all times. After you're seated, back and leg restraints will be firmly engaged. For your safety, throughout this entire experience, always remain seated and supervise your children.
Once the link takes place, you'll be connected to your avatar and sitting on the back of an ikran. It'll feel like you're really there. Moments later, you'll begin your flight. A Na'vi guide will
Deberán
lead.
permanecer sentados, inclinarse hacia adelante agarrando las barras y supervisen las...
Step off the link chair, gather your belongings, and exit the link.